experience. Everything's perception. It's experiences. It's so odd to go from being like a skeptic and not really liking meditation to like really just focusing on my technique and going to my paradise. And that experience that I just had was so real. I mean, I was tearing up, crying. I don't cry typically. I'm not a person that cries. Unless it's Christmas time and I'm giving presents to my family, I cry every year. About a year or two ago, I gave a present to everyone that was more, I don't even remember what was in the present, but I wrote on the package a specific memory that I liked about each of my 4 brothers and my mom, dad, and everyone. It was like a memory present, and it made me cry because I love them so much, right? It's interesting how you can, I don't know how long that was, I gotta go check, but how you can go from being in this conscious, right? The human body, but your mind is so powerful that you can envision anything and create it. See how calm I am? I'm normally like, hey guys, yelling, right? Very high energy. Makes you yawn. I think it's only like 8:30 p.m. and I went to bed at like 2 a.m. last night. I understand what some of the gurus are saying, that you can't tell people what you experienced, because it's exactly that. It's an experience. Like, for example, I was focusing, I wanted to talk to God, and I was a little upset that I feel like there's, in human form, our brains are just, we're told from a very infantile age, this is what, point to an apple, red, and we're indoctrinated to understand the language. But in my paradise, we don't speak with words, we speak with our minds. It's much more efficient, so you can just think something and the other being, the spiritual being, will understand. It's much more efficient. But I was sitting with God, and I was showing off my my paradise, and it was awesome. I was actually sitting, when you walk out of the elevator, I was sitting on the right hand side, under the fish, and I was showing off the waterfall and all that to God and this guru that was there, and it was a guru that is very, very well known today, actually. Dog's barking. That damn dog. One side note is owners that don't, if you don't teach your kids or your dog discipline and when to do things a certain way, it's they become wild, right? It's interesting. But maybe that's okay. Maybe they find their way, right? What was interesting about this mental strengthening is I was thinking, and we were in conversation, right, with our minds, and sometimes I would notice, I would be so ensconced in the conversation and everything, but then like that, I was back and I could feel my leg itch in my human form, and it was interesting, and it was okay, totally. I just, no big deal, you scratch it, you do whatever, and then, basically my mind is the most powerful thing in the world, so I would just focus back, okay, let's get back. And honestly too, what I've also been doing is it's okay if something comes to me randomly. Like, there was a few things. I'll live till 84 is one thing. I don't really want to live too long. I'm actually excited to get back to the other side. Not like I want to die. That sounds morbid. I'm grateful and excited for the journey. But it's unlike it's unlike anything that we can even fathom with our little brains. Perspective is everything, man. Having I think that was 20 minutes. Again, time is not real, right? It's like gaming, literally. You think you were gaming for 2 hours. It's been 10 hours. Literally, I've gone 10 hours without like eating or anything, and then you realize, you're like, dude, I'm hungry. You didn't even realize. You're so immersed in it. Anyways. I haven't gamed today. That's good. That's good. Oh, one thing that so the one answer I got was, we're gonna start with I believe it's called Amazon KDP, where we can basically start with a first level to get the book out, the journal, and then I'm gonna figure out the leather kind of as a secondary thing, because I want it done very luxurious and very just awesome. But I think if I spend too much time at the beginning messing with that, it's just gonna prolong this whole process. So I think we're ready to develop it, get it out, and just have it be a version 1, and then we'll manifest and create the intentional living jacket, where it will go over the journal. And then I was also thinking that we would do like, these cool, fun, very thought out, kind of like monthly, eventually as we get there, right? It's a lot of manufacturing and figuring all that out, but the monthly, you get a new leather cover every single jacket every single month, and it'll have, a new message, new different things on it. But one thing to add to the journal is every like 10 pages or every so pages, I'm gonna put in a story or something of inspiration. I feel like that will be good, because sometimes in life, I'm a very confident person, the most confident person I know, and sometimes it's in our DNA that we become unsure. It's like baseball. I used to be very, very good at baseball, and I'd hit so many home runs. My batting average was 750 for like maybe 700 on bad years, but that means, for people that don't know baseball, pros bat 200 to 300. That means 2 to 3 out of 10 times they get on base. I was doing it 7 times. But the point is even being that good at baseball, there was some times where you would get a really fast pitcher, or, it would instill a little, oh, can I do this still? Even though you just hit 4 home runs last weekend, you're really like, you're human, right? Currently, you're in human form. Anyways, I think having that in the journal, I'm relating this because I've had that experience, things like that, or sales. I mean, how many sales have I gotten the yes and got a contract signed and all this stuff? But every single sale, you don't know. There's so many question marks. It's navigating through it and figuring it out along the way. Such is life, right? But I think we all need those reminders sometimes that we are awesome, and we have great intentions. That's something that's hard to think about. It's like, even in saying we have great intentions, I mean, I do, and I want to believe other people do, but it's hard in today's day and age, because and I don't even go on these social medias that much. Like, I do this to like get document for future, and anyone that actually wants the the information, but with social media, there needs to be like a truth network. that just is unbiased. And the algorithm is not, the algorithms don't work. Like, for example, I love what Elon Musk is doing with Twitter, but the algorithm's already screwed up to the point of, I mean, Twitter, I go on Twitter and I see stuff about just chaos all over the world, and I don't follow anyone. I don't like videos. I'm not putting in any input for the algorithm to say, oh, this guy likes beheadings, crazy crap you see on the internet. And I didn't see a beheading, but I saw so much war stuff, like just Russian soldiers being attacked by drones and them actually dying on Twitter. Like, dude, it's hard because I don't want to see that, and it just makes me feel it's all negative. There needs to be a network that, like, cuts through all this bullshit of advertisers are just trying to target. They take your data and then they target you, and it's you. It would be one thing if it was like, hey, like this intentional living club. Hey, we notice you're not, doing that good. Are you, how are your vitamins? Oh, you're deficient in D3. Get some vitamin D. Let us know how you feel. And it's something like that to genuinely help you versus it's all about capitalism, money. Everyone wants money, right? Money. That's what it reminded me of. Money. What is that from? Money. If it even goes there. What is that from? Money. I don't even think that's how it is. Money. Now I'm messing it up in my mind. Anyway, doesn't matter. What else? I think it was cool. I like this. This encounter was awesome because I actually spoke to God, and it was funny because he was like there for me, and then I would like be kind of distracted, and then I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to God, I gotta pay attention, and he would say, it's okay, I'm still here. And then once, it wasn't even that long, but the guru was there and God was there, but then all of a sudden God said, I have to go. Peace. I'm out of here. Oh, there was another thing. In my paradise, I could actually just teleport. It was crazy. I went with this guru, I sat next to him, and then instantly I teleported to the top of the waterfall, and I looked back at him, and then I teleported back. That was kind of cool. It's interesting, because I'm not some nut that's like, time travel and, oh, the aliens and, all this crazy stuff. See, that's the irony, is like, some of this stuff is probably legit and real, but as humans, we're so logical and, oh, that doesn't make sense, because our brains are just so, monkey see, monkey do, I think that, just a prediction, is I think with mental strengthening, your mind and how you control and what you focus on over time will become so strong that who the hell knows? I mean, what if you meditated for 30 years? Because that was the other thing too, is time is actually like this in heaven, or whatever you want to call it. Humans call it heaven, right? But time is like this, like a lifetime is like 10 minutes up there. So that's the interesting thing, is we feel like it's an eternity, and then it's a whole paradox, because it's not even an eternity, because 80 years, 100 years for a human is just bam, like that. The earth has been around for billions of years, right? So it's a paradox, because then you go into, okay, I gotta wake up at 6 a.m. and live this day, and work, and I gotta eat, go to the gym, and it feels like, 24 hours, that was such a long day. And the irony is that you do that a bajillion times, right, throughout your life, and then you look back, and even it's all perspective, because, like, for example, I'm about to turn 30 in a few months, and do I feel like I've been around for 30 years? Not really. But can I look back at my memories and, okay, I can add it all up and it makes sense. But right now it's like, that's why people say, older people say, oh, it goes by like that. It's because their perspective is they're living in today and their life is gone. But it's just a mindset and a perspective viewpoint. Anyways, some of this crap is probably not even making sense. See, I think if you get too in, for people who don't understand the experiences, like it's kind of like one thing, I was watching Joe Rogan podcast with Guru, the Sadhguru, and Joe Rogan was like, yeah, but if you tried to explain fire to someone that never has ever experienced fire, you can use that analogy for a million things, but that is and even easier than that, cell phones, the damn thing I'm recording on right now, imagine that. Hey, in the future, you can, in 4K, record on this thing. You can sit in your bed and shake your head around and record. Like, what? What are you talking? Record what? What does that even mean? Record like a vinyl? Back then, right? Like, pretend it's the 70s or 80s. Like, what do you mean, record? And the irony is, some of you people from the 70s and 80s are still alive, right? So that's what's crazy, is it really is perspective. Mindset. See, and that's the thing about the whole vision about the Intentional Living Club, is get a bunch of us that do this and we live with such intention. We may not understand what it all means. It's like the Sadhguru said, it's like a jigsaw puzzle where you get 8 pieces and it starts to form half a picture. And oh, is that an elephant? Is that a tiger? Okay, yep, it is. But no, you have 5 pieces, 8 pieces out of a 1,000,000-piece jigsaws. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I think he said bear. It was a bear. Sorry, Sadhguru. I do appreciate people. We are all gods. We are all creators, not content creators. We're all actual creators. If you sat and spent enough mental energy focusing on something, you can make it happen. Literally. It's no different than you going to get a job interview and you just go home, you're so excited, you nailed the interview, and you just keep thinking about it. You're manifesting it. Manifesting plus action. Put those together. The most unstoppable thing in the world. Before I made a lot of money in a month, I don't know, I would try to have to think. This is a cool story, something that shaped me forever. I mean, this is one of my core memories I'll have forever. I was working at this company run by, again, companies are snaky. They're nice people to your face, they say the right things, but their actions are not pure. And what I mean by this is sales companies will say, Rylan, trust me, we got a great service, don't worry about it. Our fulfillment is, arrivederci. They'd say that, and you're like, are you Italian? I'm just joking. But no, they say this, and you just have to take it at face value. You don't see the fulfillment. You don't know. And so then you go sell millions of dollars worth of their stuff just to find out they're scamming people. Not scamming, but they're not doing what they said they were going to do, which in my eyes is kind of a scam, right? That's kind of fraud to a degree. Anyways, whatever. But the story is, stretch my legs. The story is that I was working at a sales company. I was probably 19 at the time, and we were selling marketing services, to the healthcare industry. And I had maybe made, I don't know, this was whenever I was 19, 10 years ago. And I don't even know, minimum wage then, 10 years ago, Google it. It was probably $5, $7, I don't even know what it is now. It was in that range. I was making a salary, I don't know, not a lot. For my age, it was a lot. It was probably 60 grand salary, maybe 50 or 60. It was right there in that range. And then commission. But if you sold $100,000, these contracts were $9.99, $1,000 a month, so a $12,000 contract. So if you sold 10 websites or 12 websites, if you sold over 120,000 or something worth of contracts, and again, SEO and marketing back 10 years ago was you had to do way less. Like, that actually kind of worked if you did the right thing. But again, come to find out that company didn't do the right things. So they kind of just took people's money. But, so before I only made, I don't know, call it $5,000, you get, legal theftation by Uncle Sam, and there goes 30-40% of your money. So let's say you make $6,000 a month, you're really like, okay, great, I have $3,500, $4,000 in my pocket. So it's okay, maybe some commission, I don't know. My point is, I don't really know the number, but I would say that I probably only made, I don't know, $7,000. It was maybe $8,000, not even. Probably $7,000 was like my best, up until this point. I want to say this could be, again, my memory of 10 years ago. But all I did is I actually just crushed it that past month. I had been at this company for maybe 6 months or so, maybe 8 months, I don't know, around a year or less. And I just had a great month. I just sold, I think, 8 websites, and there's tiers of the commission, and 8 was like the third from the best tier, or maybe the second. It was pretty good. So I did make a good commission. That was a month where I probably made $7,000-8,000 or something. But there was something where I was money hungry, right? You're 19, everyone tells you to be a man, to be, to really just, in the world. You gotta go make money. That is not true. That is the furthest thing from the truth, to be honest. But the point is that when you're young and money hungry, that's what you do. And what I didn't really meditate back then. I've had a few stories which I'll share with you guys throughout time, but I didn't really manifest in a traditional, just what I did now, of like meditation, actually consciously, intentionally focusing on it. But with this, what I did is, after, it was a little scary, I had some fear, but I just, in sales, you have pipelines where like I call a person, pitch them, blah, 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 doctor, whatever, sounds good, okay, I'm going to send you an email, I'm going to follow up with you next week, blah, blah, blah. But that following up next week comes and, oh, doctor, he forgot about you because he doesn't care about you and he's eating lunch. Okay, great, well, I'll call next week, I'll try to get him tomorrow or whatever. And the point is that I'm telling you about this because they're called follow-ups, that it builds up your pipeline. So anyways, I just crushed it, did pretty good, and so all I did is I got a fake check, a Bank of Abundance check. I just printed it off, and I wrote down, apprehensively, $18,500. And I was even, again, fearful writing it. If you guys, imagine if you make, $5,000 a month, and you're like, I'm gonna make $18,000, Dad, and it's in a 30-day period. Not even 30 days. You have weekends, you only work 8 to 5, whatever. The point is you have like 21 days, I think, is what a month is for a salesperson. There's the dog again. So I had wrote down 18,500. I had dated it for like September 1 of whatever 10 years ago was. 9, I remember, like, I think it was either 8/1 or 9/1. Anyway, one of those months. Anyhow, I did that, and then I just pictured what it would feel like to get that money, and then all I did is went to work. Action, intention, action. And you know what's crazy? I didn't even really believe that I was going to make that money. It's not about that. I think it's about putting the intent out there and taking the action, because this is straight out of that. You could basically say, Rylan, you're making this shit up. I feel like I'm making this up, because looking back, I'm not even joking. It felt like all the stars aligned. I had 3 clients call me back I pitched 6 months ago. I had people just like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it, Rylan. Like, everything was just yes, yes, yes. And guess what? 14 days in, halfway through the month, my commission, I had sold 10 clients already. My commission was $18,556. guess what? I ended the month making like $35,000. It was 32 or 35. I can't remember, but it was over. I remember very specifically, it was over $30,000 in a month, and I'm 19. I mean, I was at that company where these senior account executives weren't even making that. Like 60, 50-year-old dudes that were there were not making that kind of money, and that caused for them to resent. People don't like when you succeed. I've noticed. Anyways, that is an interesting thing, and I really, that's my story. That's what I got for you. But I just think it's very cool if you have these little details, these little things that happen in your life, and you can pick up, be self-aware, and analyze them. How did it happen? What did I do? And anyway, life is about experiences, right? So now I'm going to write in my journal, and I'm excited. I'm going to write in my journal, and then I'm going to start designing the book, and then probably tomorrow I'm going to look up more. Where can I find a leather? I need to design the book, but where can I find a leather manufacturer or a leather vendor that can, like, I have a design in mind. I just want to get it done. Anyway, that's the next thing to figure out. So do the book, get that up, and then get a few people that I give the book to at cost or whatever. It's not about money, just, hey, pay the X amount of dollars to get the book. I don't care. It's more just like, I want to do this alongside people to then get their experience and their perspective, because I'm in my own world. Although I meditate, I'm self-aware, I have, I can think of a million things. I really value other people's insight because their eyeballs work different. I'm colorblind. That opened my eyes up to the world. When I see yellow, someone else sees green. You and I don't see the world the same. And that goes for more ways than one, because how you interpret the world. Oh, I interpret everything with confidence because I have a lot of baseball and sports and brothers, everything. Having 4 brothers, everything was a competition. So when you are indoctrinated with that core belief system of, like, for example, our parents brought home pizza, and if you wanted to get seconds, you had to scarf down. That's why I eat so fast. You had to scarf down all your pizza so you could race to get seconds so you wouldn't be left out. I mean, Jesus, eating food was a competition. Like, that's crazy. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It sculpted me. A huge part of it sculpted me into who I am, right? Anyways. All right. That's about what I got for today. That's what I've got. I have been drinking lemon water. Lemon water. I looked up perks of lemon water, and there is like 9 different perks: digestion, skin. I think I had some sort of fungal thing. My hair was acting weird, and my feet were kind of like a little athlete foot type-esque. And so, you go to the public gyms and good God, you know what I mean? Like, you still wear your little booties and whatever, but those places are not clean that well, right? Anyways, so what I did is I put apple cider vinegar diluted with water. I put it on my hair and my feet, only for a few minutes, and I washed it out. But my hair's feeling a lot better, clean. Just not, but there is a bacteria out there that attacks your hair. Like look, you guys see that I have a bald spot on my leg. Maybe that's genetics. I did read that can happen. It's genetics. My dad has the same thing, so maybe that's that, but never be too careful. I'm Dr. Ryland coming at you. All right, have a great day, guys. We're getting 0.01% better. Probably today, 0.02. We did good today. Good job, Ryan. Remember, man, no matter what anyone thinks of you, Rylan, you are intentionally, your mindset is always going into situations with pure intent. You always want to do good in the world, not for other people, not for anything else. Yes, we want to help people, of course, but so we can look ourselves, or our souls, right? We can look ourselves in the mirror and we know, hey, no matter what happened, at least we're a good person. We're a good soul. We're a good being. And that's what matters. I'm staring at my computer because I'm gonna go do the Amazon thing. I'm too excited. I'll journal later, man. I'm gonna do that tonight for sure. But I want, while it's fresh on my mind and I'm excited, I'm gonna go do that right now. So, yay! You guys are awesome. Have a great day. And whoever stuck around this long, good job. Good job. Shows you have intent to want to do more. Yay!